Repeat symbols and first and second endings. This is a repeat sign. This is a forward repeat sign. It has the dots facing to the right. This is a backwards repeat sign. This has the dots facing to the left. When you start at the beginning of a piece of music, and if you encounter a backwards repeat sign, you would just go all the way back to the beginning, even if there isn't a forward repeat there. If you're in the middle of a piece, you would need to have a forward repeat and a backwards repeat. When you play forward and you encounter the backwards repeat, then you would jump back to the forward repeat and play all that section again. In situations where you have the need for this, you can have just everything repeated except just the ending is a little different. So you would start here, go through the first ending that's bracketed with the number 1, hit the backwards repeat, jump back, and this time play forward again. And this time when you encounter that first bracket, you leap over it and you go to the second ending and then carry on from there. So this allows you to repeat a whole section and only have there's only a variation in the very end of the phrase. It allows you to make use of repeating that without having to rewrite it all. Here's an example. You're being asked to interpret the piece of music that is written with repeats and kind of undo those repeats and write out the whole thing as if you didn't have the benefit of that shortcut, because these symbols really save us time. So basically you would start here, you have to repeat again, so that means you have to write that out again and then go on to here. So this is 4 measures of music that's actually really 6 measures of music, so you have to write it out as if it's the full 6 measures. Here is another one that you have to interpret what's going on and write it out as if you didn't have the benefit of repeats. And finally, here's one where you have to write out, it's thinking the other way now. So this is up here you had the efficient way to write it out. You're being asked to turn it into the inefficient way. But down here you have the inefficient way, and you're being asked to turn it into the efficient way by using a first and second ending. So you're looking for a section that can be repeated, and then you're looking for 2 sections at the end of each repeated section that are different. And when you find the first section that's a little different, that's going to be your first ending. And when you have something different, you're going to encounter your second ending or put your second ending. So just to revisit our little example that we had, this part was the same both times. This part was only there for the first time. And this part was only there for the second time. So this is the place to put the first ending. So just sing through it and you'll notice when it starts to repeat, and then that will help you locate where the first ending should go. Roadmap symbols are DC, DS, Coda, and Fine. Now these are all really important. They save us a lot of time in writing out music if we know how to use them properly. DC means go back to the very beginning. So whenever you encounter DC, you just go back to the beginning. It's very simple. DS means go back to the sign. The sign looks like this. Wherever that sign is, if you see DS, you go back to wherever that sign is in the music, and then you play forward from there. Fine means the end, so wherever fine is written, that means that's where you're eventually going to end in the piece of music, and it will also often have a fine bar line, this thin and thick line there. And then you have Coda, which is this symbol, and that's a piece that is tacked onto the end of a piece of music. So let's go through these. Here's a piece of music where we would start playing. The first time we see fine, we ignore it, because if we were to stop there, we wouldn't play the rest of the piece. So we never play fine the first time we see it. So we go right through the first time fine, come to the end, and here's our indication, D, C, al, fine. So think for a second, what does that mean? And what it means is go back to the very beginning, DC, beginning, and go to fine and then stop. That's where you're going to end. You're being asked to rewrite this as if we didn't have the benefit of those symbols, and you'll see how this number of measures, I think 7 measures, gets turned into a lot more measures because we don't have the efficiency of those repeat indications. Number 2, you're being asked to also ignore the efficiency of the repeat symbols. Let's interpret it. So we start at the beginning, we play through. First time we see fine, we ignore it. Go right through to DS al fine. Think about what that means. Yes, that means go back to the sign, wherever it is, it happens to be here. Play forward. When you get to fine, stop there. Again, you're being asked to write that out as if you didn't have the benefit of those symbols, and of course, fewer measures turns into more measures when you have to do that. Last but not least, we have the coda. The coda is a section that's tacked onto a longer piece right at the end. So here's how we would start. We would start at the beginning, play forward, ignore it the first time, again, because if we did it then, we would never play this music here. So just the way you ignore fine the first time, you always ignore the coda symbol the first time. Play through, get to the end, it says DCL coda. Think about what that means. And yes, that means go back to the very beginning. And this time, when you get to the coda symbol, the second time through, you jump over to the coda, and then that's the ending of your piece. So that's the unique thing about the coda, is it's always at the end of a piece of music.